Hi, I just got back from the food bank and I thought I would do an actual video. I've taken photos of my bounty before, but just to give an idea of what I get from my local food bank. Sorry, this is so shaky, I don't have it on a stand at the moment. Alright, let's take a look. We're so well lit today, it's almost professional looking. So here's the first bit of bounty. Looks like there's a flourless chocolate cake from Trader Joe's. There's sort of a salt and pepper gravy, oranges, bananas, tomato sauce, dairy whipping, and this interesting drink called Synergy Raspberry Chia. Sometimes I just grab things because I think, hey, it's different, let me try it. And just to give you a better idea, I usually bring 2 of these bags with me and fill them up. I also have a backpack because even though it's walking distance from my home, I sometimes find these a little heavy to carry. I know a lot of the elderly people actually have grocery carts that they take with them and roll, and not even just the elderly, some of the younger people do too, but there are far more elderly people and far more Asian, Russian, etc. People in line. So let's delve into the bags, see what's inside. Okay, continuing on our tour here, these I'm actually pretty excited about today. I don't actually even know the style of pepper that these are, but I just know by sight, the ones on the left, they're not quite fresh. Of course, that's pretty much the status of any produce you get from the food bank, even from the better ones. But this reminds me of a tapas dish that I had in Spain once. So I'm going to fry them up with some olive oil and sea salt, and they are just going to be yummy. I know it. And the frozen ones on the right, I'll keep those in the freezer. And I get into more of the colder months and I'm not getting organic produce from the farm. What I like to do is throw a few pieces of these for some extra flavor and color to my dishes. Let's see, we already covered all this stuff. Okay, so now we get to a PCC item, Romano grated cheese. Now this is sort of a treat. Cheese is not often offered at the food bank, as well as meat items. They usually have like 1 crate of each, and sometimes they don't even have the cheese, so that's pretty exciting stuff, let me tell you. Cinnamon coffee, okay. Never had cinnamon coffee, but coffee is also sort of a rare commodity, although as of late it's been a little bit more offered, so I just take it when I can get it. And next to it is manna bread. You can't really see the label so well, but I'm not going to turn it around. It's a sunflower, gluten-free, I think it's sprouted bread, and I've just been venturing and trying new breads. Even though I'm not gluten-free, sometimes cutting down on my bread intake is good. And then in case that didn't work out, I grabbed some focaccia. The thing about the bread is that there's a huge aisle of it. There's always tons for the taking, so you pretty much get your pick. Although I do notice that my favorite is artisan olive bread, like Kalamata olive, and they don't always have that. So, okay, some more fruit, which is awesome. I grabbed as much as I could. And can you tell why I can't tell the difference between peaches and nectarines? Because they're mixed and matched in there, and yeah, they're not the best looking ever, but I'm going to cut them up and freeze them. Use them later. And there's also a mango there. Another little experiment is, I'm totally going to bastardize the pronunciation of this, is lychee, I think. So I just grabbed them. I don't actually know what they look like fresh, so I just was intrigued to grab a handful on my way out, and I'll try putting them in smoothies or something. Gotta be good. Today, for the meats option, they had frozen salmon, and I am just getting to like salmon in general, let alone frozen salmon, so they said they could give me the vegetarian option, which turned out to be fake cheese. The little package on its side is tofu and some garden burgers. The tofu I'll probably give away or make for someone else. Garlic and herb tofu, no less. That might actually entice me to make something out of it, but I'm generally not a tofu fan. Something about the texture I'm just not big on. Apples, again, fruit is very rare, so I'm grabbing as much as I can, and what I often will do is cut it up and freeze it. And grape tomatoes, probably didn't need to grab those, but they were putting out so much squash next to it, and I've got so much organic fresh squash from the farm, I've already don't know what to do with the stuff I have, so there you go. Got the tomatoes. And the pizza doughs, these little things, they're Trader Joe packages right there. I actually like the herb style better, but I love these things. They're like my guilty pleasure. I convinced myself that instead of ordering delivery, I can just roll one of these out and pick out of my ingredients over here, figure out what topping I want to put on it, and make my own. And it's almost like I ordered out and I'm indulging a bit. And here we have our sort of grains, legume section here with the oats and the beans. I think these are lima beans. No, they're not lima beans. I don't remember what kind they are. I'm going to look into using them in my newly found recipe for homemade protein powders, because otherwise they have a ton of beans of varying kinds. Lima, pinto, sometimes lentil, and I think a lot of people don't know what to do with it. It's fairly labor intensive, and so it's just easier to deal with the canned stuff. And then there's pasta next to it, just regular pasta. I couldn't resist. I do have a sweet tooth, but look, it's another PCC item, Devil's Food Cupcake. Holy cow. Those are probably going to go fast. I may actually try to pawn them off on friends so they don't eat them all myself. These little yogurt things, they have varying brands from week to week, day to day, whatever. I usually also just pop these in the freezer. They're great for smoothies, and I don't always eat them before I think the date's going to go bad, and sometimes we don't even get them until the date's passed, so I just try to be careful with that stuff. I hid the label in there. It's a Trader Joe's item, cranberry apple butter. It just looked yum. It was one of the canned item crates that they let me choose from, and I just chose that. The diced tomatoes in the can is pretty funny. I happen to live in the zip code for my food bank, and so when you go in the door and they ask for your ID and check to make sure you haven't been there more than once that week, and you fall in the right zip code, they actually give you an extra can of something. Usually it's corn. I have so many cans of corn I cannot tell you, but today it was diced tomatoes, so yay. I can make spaghetti sauce or gazpacho or put it on my pizza. The possibilities are endless. I will often keep those, again, for the warmer months when we don't have as much produce. So there you have it. That's my bounty. Not the tomatoes above, but that's my bounty that I brought home in 2 bags and a little help from my backpack. And it was probably about half a mile away from my home. So free food, can't beat that, huh?